so you're thinking about buying a franchise and you want to know if it makes sense. Well, in this video, we're gonna talk about the 3 mistakes that you need to avoid when buying a franchise. I'm speaking from experience here. I've owned 2 franchise locations, one in California and one in Florida. They were 2,400 miles away. So you're gonna get to learn from my mistakes. Let's jump in. So real quick, drop me a comment below and tell me what kind of franchise business that you're thinking about getting into. I try my best to respond to all of the comments, so drop me a comment below and let's chat. Also, as you're going along, if you're getting some value out of this video, consider subscribing down below. I post a lot of videos on the insider secrets to franchising, what to expect, mistakes not to make, how to run a franchise, how to decide on opening up a franchise or starting your own business, and what my experience has been like in running my franchise locations. Okay, so the first mistake to avoid is choosing a brand just because you're a customer of the brand and you enjoy their product. This is something that is a very common mistake in franchising. So here's what happens. You go into your favorite burger shop or your favorite restaurant, you go, oh, I love the food. The service is so great. Man, I bet they make a ton of money. And you know what? I'm really frustrated at my job, or I just inherited some money, or I have some money in my retirement account, and I'd love to own one of these. How cool would that be? You get to talking to your spouse, you get to talking to your friends or your family, and they love the business too. So they go, yeah, John, you should definitely open up one of those. You should talk about it. That's a huge mistake. So here's the thing. Just because you enjoy a service as a customer doesn't mean that you're gonna enjoy running and operating the business. It's a totally different experience. As an example, my wife and I opened a juice and smoothie bar franchise, and this was one of the mistakes that we made. We decided to open up the juice and smoothie bar franchise partially because we really enjoyed juices and smoothies. And the location that we wound up choosing, we had been customers just a couple of times. What I will tell you is just because we liked making juices and smoothies at home, in our kitchen, throwing a couple bananas or strawberries or almond milk into the blender and enjoying the taste out of it, does not mean that you're gonna enjoy the entire process of running that business, managing a staff of 10 to 15 teenagers, having to sweep and mop floors and wash dishes and clean out the freezer when something spills and it's completely stuck to the floor. There are a lot of aspects to running a business that you may or may not like. So it's important to think about what the perspective is as the business owner, not just because you like the business as a customer. Now, that's not to say that because you like the business as a customer, you wouldn't make a great owner for that business. The point in me saying this is make sure that you consider the perspective of what it's like running the business and the nitty-gritty and the day-to-day of that business. Talk to some of the franchise owners, get a feel for what it's like. See if you can go into some of the locations near your house and talk to the staff, talk to the manager. You don't need to necessarily tell them that you're considering opening up one of the locations or you're thinking about it, but find out how they like working there. What's their favorite part of their job? What do they dislike the most? Get some intel before you decide if that's something that you want to do yourself. It's important to make sure that you're going through a specific process when you're choosing a franchise so that you can be aligned with one that matches up with your skills, your personality, and overall what you enjoy doing and what you're good at. So that's gonna lead us into number 2. Number 2 is not working with the franchise consultant. So this is a mistake that my wife and I made. We didn't work with a franchise consultant. So it's something to this day that I partially regret. The reason why I say partially regret is because it wind up working out for us. Owning a franchise wind up being successful for us. We cash flowed on the business for a number of years and actually just sold our location in California about a month ago. But I do believe that there was the opportunity to possibly find a franchise that aligned more with my skill set, my wife's skill set, and maybe more with our lifestyle and what we were looking to accomplish. Fortunately for us, we kind of got lucky. I mean, we did our own layers of due diligence and It really took us about 6 to 8 months of my wife and I talking and thinking about other options and whether we should start our own juice bar business or whether we should go with the franchise. We decided to go with the franchise for a few different reasons. If you're considering whether you should buy a franchise or start your own business, you can check out the video that I did right here on whether you should buy a franchise or start your own business. It's a delicate decision and it requires a lot of thought and consideration. So one of the things that a franchise consultant does when you work with them is first they help you go through a personality and skills assessment to understand what is your natural personality style. What are your natural skill sets? What are you good at? What is your background? How do your personality, the skill sets, your background, how does that align with the potential franchise opportunities that are out there, and making sure that you can choose the best one that not only makes the best sense financially, but makes the best sense for you and the lifestyle that you're trying to live, as well as something that you're going to enjoy and want to stick with. It's incredibly important that you are working with a franchise consultant that is actually good at what they do. Unfortunately, there are a lot of bad ones out there. So make sure you head to my website, just click the contact us form, and then just submit something just saying that, hey, I'm looking to work with a franchise consultant, and I'll be sure to help you and make sure that you're connected with someone that is really good and skilled in that area. While you're there, you can also grab my 7-step blueprint to business profits in 60 days. It's something that I outlined from A to Z, how we got our first location open in California and got that location profitable in 60 days after investing $300,000 to get that location open. So make sure you grab it. It's got a ton of great information in there. All right, so number 3 is trying to be an absentee owner. What does an absentee owner mean? An absentee owner is basically an owner that is not actively involved in the day-to-day running of the franchise operations. Now, the term semi-absentee means that although you may not be involved in the day-to-day operations of the business, maybe you pop in once a week, or you have a weekly meeting with your manager, or you're reviewing the numbers on a weekly basis, but you're involved overall in the running of the franchise. I get a ton of people that reach out to me and leave me comments or go to my website and contact me and go, I want to start a franchise business and I want something where I can just do nothing, buy the franchise, and make money. Okay, reality check here. It's possible that if you're buying an existing franchise location, you might be able to take over a really well-run location and be able to not put in a lot of effort. But the reality is, if you're going to be successful in anything, whether owning a franchise, whether owning your own business, or in a job, is you need to be involved in that business. With that said, after owning our location in California for only 7 months, we actually wind up moving to Florida, and I ran that business completely remote as primarily a semi-absentee owner from 2,400 miles away. Now, this wasn't easy, and there were some challenges that occur. One of the challenges was that a week before we were getting ready to move, someone smashed our window at 4 o'clock in the morning to our business, broke in, and stole our safe out of the business. And you can imagine how much disruption this caused to our life. Because we were moving across the country, I wind up leaving my job in California early. I spent about 3 to 6 months working in the business day to day, overseeing the employees and the staff and making sure they had that high standard of work that I wanted to see my business running at. They didn't know I was going to be moving at the time, but I knew in my mind, and so I wanted to make sure that I was setting up systems in place so that the staff was taking responsibility and ownership for the things that happened and would be operating the business the way that I would want it to operate while I was gone. I also made sure that I had conference calls with my store manager once a week to talk about what was going on in the business. There were a variety of layers of ways that I was able to check in on the business and see how the business was going. I had a camera system, I had an audio system, so I could check in at any point and see what the staff was doing and how things were going. Corporate would have mystery shoppers go in and randomly go in and do a surprise visit where the staff didn't know that they were a mystery shopper and we would get scored on the experience. And then corporate would show up and do an audit every quarter, which had about 100 to 200 questions to make sure that the store was running in prime condition. But it's important that if you're gonna be owning a franchise or just starting it initially, you're gonna have to be involved. And if the goal is for you to own a franchise while you still operate your job, one, you need to talk to your employer and make sure that they're okay with that, because there is the likelihood that you may need to leave your job at some point to put out fires that are going on in the business, or you're gonna have to put in a lot of extra time when you're not at your job in early mornings, weekends, and the evenings. So be prepared. It is possible to run a franchise as a semi-absentee owner. It is possible to own it as an absentee owner, but this is also one of the reasons why it's incredibly important to work with a franchise consultant, because they can help you with your specific situation, what you're looking for, if you're looking to go full-time in a business, if you're looking to replace your income full-time, if you're looking to increase, double or triple your income from your job, or if you're just looking to supplement your income. So guys, if you got some value out of the video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm and it helps see more people see this video. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. Again, I got videos posting every Monday and Friday on franchising, business ownership, how to start a business, how to grow a business, and then what to do with that money once you start making it. I'll see you on the next one.